For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Days for Christmas shopping, 25 days to fill the stocking, 25 days for Christmas shopping, only got 25 more, only got 25 more.
Hi there, better get busy, Christmas is coming.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
News team, assemble!
Joining us live, because if you want to know anything about the Outer Banks, Sam Walker's the dude to fill you in.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Always appreciate talking to you.
Always good stuff with Sam Walker in the Outer Banks.
Now here's Les Nessman and the news.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to OBX Today Live, presented by Gallup Funeral Services on Facebook Live on the OBX Today and Sam Walker OBX Facebook pages, and on the Sam Walker OBX YouTube channel. Glad to have you along on this Tuesday morning, last day of November. Coming up, Jessica Sands from the Dare County Arts Council is going to be our guest to preview all the great stuff they got coming up Friday night as part of what normally would be First Friday, but it's the kickoff to the holiday season in downtown Manio, and Dare County Arts Council's got a bunch of stuff there. They got shows going on in the gallery, all kinds of great stuff to talk about with the Dare County Arts Council and Jessica Sands here in just a few moments on OBX Today Live. Well, we're, of course, sad news to report. Yesterday afternoon, we got confirmation that, unfortunately, we just talked about him yesterday with that documentary on the amazing life of Edward Green being posted on YouTube on Saturday, and that documentary was produced a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, yesterday we got word that Edward Green passed away yesterday morning at age 96. And yesterday I know we played a teaser, the trailer from that documentary. It had some audio issues. But I wanted to play that again this morning just because with Edward Green passing away yesterday, and, of course, all the memories that are going to be coming in. Funeral services are incomplete at this time. We'll have those for you at obxtoday.com once they become available. But in case you missed it, that documentary is now on YouTube. Here's just a little sampling from that here on OBX Today Live.
When I came to the Outer Banks, I saw needs and I discovered what I was capable of. So I mean, the greatest blessing in my life. I don't know. I can't imagine life without the Outer Banks.
And it's safe to say that it's hard to imagine life on the Outer Banks without Edward Green. He's had a hand in so many things, and it's often been a guiding hand. When you see the first medical center here, there's Eddie. When you see the revitalized Manteo, there's Eddie. When you see Jockey's Ridge, there's Eddie. When you have a local brew, raise a pint for Mr. Green because he built the first microbrewery in North Carolina right here. My name is Lola Davis Jones, but it was Lola McDermott when I was a dancer in the Lost Colony and I first met Edward. My whole family was involved in the show that year. We've been friends ever since. And Edward has been a friend to so many out here on the Outer Banks.
He's a very generous man. He cares deeply about people. I'll get phone calls from him occasionally when he's met someone in need or someone who's starting to start a project, who needs a little bit of help or support. And he becomes a cheerleader for that person.
If you come to live on the island, and you come because you like it, and you embrace it, and you love it, and you don't tell us how to change it, then we love you. And Edward never tried to tell us how it was back home. He never tried to change it. He only wanted to love and support it. And support it he did from the day he arrived.
And one day, Eddie came to see me, and he had an idea. He said, I think I'm going to open an art gallery on Roanoke Island. And Eddie, I said, well, that's fine. Personally, I thought he was nuts.
He told everybody he thought I would lose my shirt selling art and Christmas decorations in the summertime on Roanoke Island. Yeah.
I was talking to my foster son just yesterday, and I said I was going to talk with you about Edward, and he said, remind him that Edward Green bought me my Cub Scout uniform at 8 years old so that I could be a Cub Scout, and without him I could not have been. That's Edward. There are hundreds of kids that could tell you the same thing.
And that was the trailer from that documentary on the wonderful life of Eddie Green that previewed back in September of 2019 and has since been posted on YouTube by Brian Jones. And you can watch that there. We've got the link at obxtoday.com. A message from Eddie's longtime secretary, Gail, was posted on his Facebook page yesterday after he passed. Edward Lewis Green left us this morning. It was peaceful, to use a quote one of his friends wrote recently. He was a remarkable man who's lived a remarkable life. How very true that is. So remember him with a smile, as he would have wanted that. And if I may borrow another quote from one of his dearest friends, it'll be hard to imagine a world without him in it. At the moment, I just can't. Cards can be sent to Richard, Gale, etc. at P.O. Box 265, Manio 27954. Again, we have no word yet on funeral services, etc. And once we get those, we'll have them for you at obxtoday.com. Of course, the Christmas shop, probably the Island Gallery and Christmas shop, which is now the Christmas shop and general store, which Eddie sold back in 2016 after retiring. Their owners who just so happened to pay homage to Eddie on Small Business Saturday. They had actually had a card that people could stop by the store and sign that they were going to give to Eddie here during Christmas. Now you can still stop by there and do that. They had posted that on their Facebook page and let us know about that. So Edward Green passing away yesterday at the age of 96. And like I said, we'll have more at obxtoday.com in the coming days. So many different ways that his impact here on the Outer Banks is talked about in that documentary, talked about in the trailer. It's too much. We could sit here the whole show and do that. And we will, as throughout the week, like I said, at obxtoday.com. All right, in other headlines on this Tuesday morning, the North Carolina Forest Service has issued a burning ban for all of North Carolina, and all burning permits statewide have been canceled until further notice. There is a 48-hour grace period. This went into effect at 5 p.m. yesterday. The move comes as moderate drought conditions continue to settle in from central North Carolina to the Outer Banks, with just minimal rainfall recently in the state. There's also the threat of wildfires, especially on dry, windy days like today, have been increasing in North Carolina, and the number of wildfires has jumped dramatically in the last 2 weeks, including one that has burned around 400 acres, up to 500 acres now at Pilot Mountain State Park, northwest of Winston-Salem since Saturday. Just got word that they're looking at that fire probably going to end up covering at least 800 acres, all within the state park boundaries around Pilot Mountain. They have been setting some backfires to burn off fuel to try and help snuff that fire out. But it looks like it's going to cover about an 800-acre area if it doesn't jump those fire lines that they have been able to get cut and start getting those backfires burning. Pilot Mountain, which is, of course, located northwest of Winston-Salem, one of the icons of North Carolina. Today, the National Weather Service has issued a special weather statement that we do have an increased fire danger this afternoon. The combination of persistent drought, southwest winds gusting to 15 to 20 miles an hour, and minimum relative humidity values of 25 to 30% will result in an increased risk for rapid fire growth this afternoon. So no burning, folks. It's banned. It's not been safe to do it the last couple of days, even with the bit of rain that we've had. I know Hatteras Island has gotten above normal rainfall for November, but the rest of the area is well below its normal rainfall for November, well below for the entire fall season since September, since meteorological fall started on September 1st. Today's the last day of meteorological fall, by the way. So don't light it, okay? And I know we had some questions. I know we had a couple questions in the comments on the Facebook page and elsewhere about whether that applies to certain things, such as we had a little fire pit going that's above ground. There's FAQ that the state has put out. You can light your grill, things like that, but there are a lot of restrictions now. We've got that in our story at obxtoday.com. Tropical weather update on this last day of hurricane season, and as has been pretty much the case for almost the entire month, nothing will be forming in the next 48 hours. Nothing expected to form in the next 5 days. This tropical weather season has come to an official end today, and it has come to an end rather quietly after what was predicted to actually see a pretty big uptick in activity, or at least above average activity in the last month or so, 2 months of the season. That has not panned out. We did hit the end of the list for 2021 with Wanda, which formed out in the North Atlantic back just at the beginning of the month as a subtropical storm. But we have not had anything else since then. We did not get to Adria, which was the first on the new alternate list name, or the auxiliary list name, rather than using the Greek alphabet, which had been done in 2005 through last year. Didn't happen. And it's not going to happen. We're not going to the auxiliary list. This ties for the third most named systems this year did with 21. Third most named systems in the satellite era. But we did not get into the secondary list last year, of course, setting the new record for tropical cyclone activity. Now, that's not to say we can't get them even outside the window of June 1 to November 30th. That is always a possibility, but right now it looks like everything is done, and the tropical weather season has ended very quietly. So we'll have a full summary up tomorrow at obxtoday.com from the National Hurricane Center once they get that out. Yesterday, I had a little bit of a incident Down on Hatteras Island, a trawler got into trouble yesterday down off of Hatteras, off the south side of Hatteras near the Hook. Ended up washing ashore. That's the fishing vessel. What's the name of that thing? Jonathan Ryan, which is a trawler, was working outside of Hatteras, or had come out, or was working off the South Beach, Frisco, around the Hook area. From what we understand, one of the nets got tangled up in the propeller. They lost power, ended up drifting into the breakers there. Thankfully, as you can see, this is a picture from yesterday from the National Park Service shows pretty benign conditions down there. They were able to refloat that thing and get it out of there, tow it out, and everything's good there. In fact, they did post a picture for us later on, actually on the Facebook page for Cape Hatteras National Seashore. But there's the Jonathan Ryan floating free again. See another trawler out there was kind of helping. Actually, they may have been actually out working. The Coast Guard, one of their boats there, but they were able to get the Jonathan Ryan freed at high tide and back out with no issues. So that happened yesterday afternoon. Down off Frisco around Ramp 48. It's OBX Today live here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. A couple other headlines to talk about. Temperatures on Hatteras and Ocracoke Island start to drop. In the winter months, cold-stunned sea turtles begin to make a more regular appearance along the Soundside beaches. Several sea turtles have already been rescued in the past few days with the recent cold snap. According to Frank Wells, who is a longtime Network for Endangered Sea Turtles Hatteras Island coordinator, we just touched cold-stunned temps in the last couple of days and did have 2 green sea turtles and 2 loggerheads gathered up and sent to the Star Center at the aquarium on Roanoke Island. Wells said since it was marginally cold, those turtles probably had other issues. They say it's rather typical for this time of year. It's not some large sea turtle stunning event, but still starting to see them pop up in the last couple of days with this recent cold weather. Water temperatures getting down into the 50s on the Sound side, but like they said, these turtles probably had some issues already. Lou Browning at the Hatteras Island Wildlife Rehabilitation said 3 recent sea turtle rescues happened, including a 120-pound loggerhead that was found on November 27th. Did kind of say it was strange coming in this early. Water temperatures in the Sound still at 49 degrees. So if you are out in the Sound and see a turtle struggling, we do have information about what to do, who to call, who to contact on the H2O page at obxtoday.com. That's courtesy of the Island Free Press. All right, more of OBX Today live coming up. Jessica Sands from the Dare County Arts Council. She's our guest next here. So stick around.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Our pet of the week for this week is Snowflake. This handsome boy is just over a year old and super playful. He was brought to us when his owner could no longer care for him. Snowflake's favorite hobbies are sunbathing, batting toys around his kennel, and learning to parkour. He can live with an older dog and seems very interested in other cats. To adopt Snowflake or foster one of our other animals, you can visit us Monday through Saturday at our shelter located in Manio. This month is Adopt a Senior Pet Month here at the SPCA, so come on in to bring a senior pet to their new home and love forever. For more information, visit our website at www.obxspca.org or visit our OBX SPCA Facebook page.
And joining us now on OBX Today Live, presented by Gallup Funeral Services, is Jessica Sands. She's Executive Director of the Dare County Arts Council. Jessica, with a very festive and very appropriate background, and it's real. It's not a green screen. That's amazing. I've got to compliment you, but man, that's just so, I mean, you couldn't get more Christmas than that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, my kids are, well, my daughter specifically is very much into Christmas starts as soon as the turkey is carved. So we went and got our tree and did all this weekend while I had some time away from work. So, but I'm working from this office today. So there we are.
Okay. So, yeah, so this isn't like we're at the gallery or anything like that. This is at home. So you can't go see Jessica's display at the gallery, but there's plenty to see. You got a couple of shows that are just getting underway at the gallery.
We sure do. We sure do. We still have Rob Snyder's exhibit upstairs. It's absolutely stunning. I really hope people can get over to see it. It'll be up until January. So his exhibit is a combination of painting, and he has some sculptures up there, which is something different. And the space is just full of massive, beautiful, beautiful art from him. And that'll be up through January 22nd. So hopefully people can get over there and check it out.
And you got another one that's going to be opening here just in time for the weekend. Always a classic, always a very, very popular show. And that's from Gail Midget.
That's right. Gail Midget's solo exhibit will be opening up in our Vault Gallery Friday. And again, her gorgeous oil paintings. If you are curious about her work, this exhibit is called Capturing My Version of Beauty on the Outer Banks. And you're going to see a lot of familiar sort of scenes in Gail's interpretive, beautiful oil paintings. So.
And something to note about these exhibits that go on, if somebody's looking for something unique for the holidays, this is something that this isn't just something you can go and look at. You actually buy these, right?
Yes. All the pieces in our exhibits are for sale. So there's going to be some wonderful things that people could come in and purchase. Not to mention, we have over 100 other artists on display in the gallery. So this is a wonderful time to come and pick something out for somebody that really would love to have art as a gift.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because, in the past, the Dare County Arts Council has had quite a bit of shopping opportunities. And of course, in the last couple of years, last Christmas, of course, because of the pandemic, it was a little different back just in the gallery this year, not having an online store. So you got to come by there. Remind everybody what y'all's hours are right now if they want to come out and shop.
That's right. We're open every day from Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 5 and Saturdays from 10 to 4. We're just closed Sundays and Mondays right now.
All right. First Friday is coming up, but First Friday is, of course, dominated by First Friday and Saturday with all the great stuff that's going on in Mania for the kickoff the Christmas season in downtown. You guys, of course, are part of that. And it gets underway Friday night, correct?
That's right. The Manio tree lighting is the highlight of the season in downtown Manio. So at 6 o'clock, there'll be a show on the front steps of the courthouse where we have the gallery. And then actually starting at 7 out back behind, once the tree lighting ceremony is over, we're going to have a musical sing-along to your favorite carols with Marianne Tobos, Skip Saunders, and Bob Furr. They'll be out there with their music. We have jingle bells for everybody. We've got a QR code so you can scan those lyrics right onto your phone. And it's just going to be a fun time to get together. And the weather's looking great. So we're excited to have a sing-along. We hope this is the first of many gatherings out there to just get together and have fun. And we also have ornament making for kids also from 7 to 8 after the tree lighting. So
and this just highlights, having the courtyard now is just recently this year opening for the first time, getting it all wrapped up. And we've been playing every now and then the video that Current TV did about it with you in it. And the courtyard, of course, has been such a great addition, not only for the Dare County Arts Council, but for the community as a whole, because of everything that you can do out there.
That's right. That's right. It's just fun. Some days people will come out there and have lunch. Other times we'll see little kids out there practicing their dances. It's just a nice space to gather for all different kinds of things. And we'll be having a lot of new programming out there next year.
All right. So let's look ahead to coming up later on this month. You've got the December speaker series, but it's going to be going back into some music.
That's right. So next Tuesday evening, live at the Arts Council. So we're hoping guests will come. We have the amazing Lisa Brickhouse Davis will be interviewing the equally amazing Ruth Wyand that evening about her music. She'll be playing a little bit, talking about her work. It's going to be awesome. And I can't wait to just sit and listen to these two women talk about some amazing stuff, So please join us. It's free. It's 7 p.m. upstairs in the gallery. We will stream it to Facebook, but there's nothing like being in the room when Ruth Wyand's got a guitar. So.
And that's coming up on Tuesday, December 14th at 7:00. And you bring up, just like what we're doing right now. That's one thing that the Dare County Arts Council was way ahead of everybody. It seemed like in being able to produce content of this type online. And it was so popular because people didn't have to be, that weren't here on the Outer Banks that couldn't make it to these events, can participate, be a part of it. I know that's something that you guys are very proud of, to be able to expand the reach of all these programs to so many different audiences in such a neat way.
Yeah, it really did bring us through the last couple of years and kept us, putting art out into the world and providing place for artists to still produce and share their art. So it was really important to the community. There's nothing like being in a room together, but we'll still be doing a little bit of online stuff. So.
Now, you've got some guests that are going to be at the gallery here very soon. Our friends at the Theater of Dare are going to be back for their Christmas show.
That's right. Theater of Dare. We're so happy. We're actually hosting their next two shows upstairs in the courtroom gallery. So their first show that we're having up there is Jacob Marley's Christmas Carol. So it's kind of what happened to that character behind the scenes. Most of the stories are about Scrooge, but this is about Jacob Marley's experience. It's kind of dark, a little bit scary, but also it has that heartfelt, warm feeling at the, in the end, just like the traditional story. Their show is going to open next December 9th, and it will run for 2 weeks. And you can find all the information on their website, theaterofdareobx.com. They should be selling tickets soon, but the space is limited. So I hope everybody hops on and gets their tickets while they can.
Yeah, and that'll be the following weekend, Friday, Saturday evenings at 7, Sunday matinee at 2 p.m. on the 12th, and then Friday and Saturday, 16th and 17th. It's going to kind of skip. No, that's not going to skip. It's going to be the middle between the kickoff in downtown Manio and then the Christmas weekend.
I know. Yeah. It's all over.
All crammed together.
Yeah.
And then you said they're going to have another show coming, 5 women wearing the same dress. That's going to be January show for the Theater Dare, and that's going to be back at the Dare County Arts Council.
That's right. That'll open in January, and we'll have more information about that soon too. That opens January 9th. That opens January 6th. We got all the dates mixed up today. It's all right. Thank goodness it's all online, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that'll open January 6th, also upstairs, and run for 2 weekends as well.
And then on Monday, announcing the call for entries for another show. It never stops, does it? And this
it never
is,
does.
Of course, one of the big shows each year, the Frank Stick Memorial Art Show.
That's right. We just announced today that that'll be happening actually, it's going to open the end of January, just that last weekend in January, and run for the whole month of February. So we hope everyone out there will start working on their pieces. It's open to everyone. Anyone here can submit a piece. It's so fun, and we're going to get to have our opening night party this year. So that's, kind of a highlight of the winter around here, because there's not a lot of events going on. So we're looking for sponsors for it, and we just wanted to make sure we got word out. You can sign up today to drop off your piece for the end of January. Everything's on our website.
All right. Yeah. And remind everybody where the website is, all the different information, ways to get info from you guys on what's going on at the Dare County Arts Council.
darearts.org. It's always up to date.
Jessica, thanks so much. We'll talk to you again here real soon.
Sounds good, Sam. Thank you.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
The town of Kill Devil Hills is excited to announce that we're putting in solar-powered crosswalk lighting this year. Adding crosswalk lighting has been part of our pedestrian plan for years, but it was a big priority identified in our board retreat just this past January.
The project consists of overhead lighting that is powered by solar. They're simple, low maintenance, and easy to install throughout town along NC 12. Most of the lighting was identified by our Streets and Special Projects Committee, gave it to the board for recommendation, and asked staff to go ahead and implement it. The pedestrian overhead crosswalk lighting in Kill Devil Hills was important to keep it uniform with the other jurisdictions that have installed it in Dare County. Oftentimes early in the day, late in the evening, we still have visitors and citizens that like to visit our beaches. Pedestrian lighting can successfully backlight your pedestrians when in the crosswalk. The amplifying light from the crosswalk can also alert the driver that there's someone in the crosswalk, and also just provides a safe feeling for your citizens and visitors when traveling on NC 12.
Back here on OBX Today Live on Facebook and YouTube, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. I'm Sam Walker. The North Carolina General Assembly wrapping up for the year. It looks like they do not plan to take any more votes this year. They did approve a couple of measures yesterday to send to the governor, including one to keep private donors from covering election costs, cutting out a revenue stream that generated millions of dollars last year for boards of elections around the state. There also another veto, a bill that probably is going to get vetoed, though. Something that happened in 2020, or not the veto, but that spending. Governor Cooper is expected to veto that bill, or likely not enough votes to overturn it. Lawmakers are scheduled to return in late December, but only for limited purposes, such as possible veto overrides and redistricting changes. Essentially, leadership at the General Assembly said they're not coming back unless they have court cases they have to decide. And that, of course, there are several court cases now involving the new redistricting for the next 10 years. So there's a possibility they'll come back. This is one of the longest sessions dating back to the 1960s. Right now, it's the longest since 2001, with the budget taking the majority of the time to get through. Didn't happen until just before Thanksgiving. And but as far as the regular work, they say they are done, and they'll adjourn with the coming back in the spring. That'll happen. When they come back for what's known as the short session after the primaries in March. If they happen in March, there's a possibility that could possibly be delayed because of the redistricting fight. So we'll see. All right, latest on COVID-19 update from the state. More than 8,000 new cases of COVID-19 reported in North Carolina over the holiday period. Positive test rate at 8.3%. That's the highest since September 27th. Of course, all the discussions with the Omicron variant on the minds of many after it came out over Thanksgiving weekend. Governor Cooper is scheduled to hold a briefing at 3:00 today, and he's expected to kind of echo what President Biden said yesterday, that they're not going to let the new COVID variant shut things down in the U.S. and in North Carolina. So we'll see what Governor Cooper has to say. We'll have the link up for that at obxtoday.com later on this morning. If you travel down in Beaufort County on US 17 business between Chocowinity and Washington, you're going to have to take a detour for the next year and a half, it looks like. There is a railroad overpass that is just south, right around Witchard Beach Road. There north of Chocowinity, that is going to be replaced, and traffic was closed, so you have to take the US 17 bypass over the Tar River. Remember, the Pamlico and Tar actually changed names right there, where the old 17 crosses outside of Washington, or from Washington to Chocowinity. So just something to keep in mind for folks that travel down that way. The commercial season for Spot and Croker will be closing next month. The commercial season for Spot will close December 10th and runs through April 4th, while the commercial Atlantic Croker season closes December 16th through December 31st. There's no changes to recreational fishing for Spot and Croker. Of course, this time of year we don't see really a lot of catches of those. They're still around, but not a whole lot. 50 fish per person per day limit remains in place. That went into effect in April, and that remains in place for recreational. That's to comply with the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission Spot and Atlantic Croker fishery management plans. And that's going to be... that will be looked at again later this year. Oh, now it's actually remaining in effect at least 2 years for Spot, 3 years for Croker. So it would be 2023 before that is looked at again for the Croker, and 2022 for Spot. In sports, high school basketball today, First Flight opens its season at home against Washington. Mania travels to Gates. Perquimans is at Edenton. Pascal Tank at Columbia. Riverside at Camden. Bethel Assembly at Albemarle School, and New Life Christian at Terracea. NFL last night. How about the Washington football team?
Wilson, right leg up and down, takes the snap. Plenty of time, surveying, looks over the middle. That is thrown into the end zone and is picked off. Kendall Fuller picked it off, and Washington maintains their lead. Now they just need to survive a kickoff.
And they did, 17-15. Washington beating Seattle last night. And Washington football team on a little run here now. They're actually got a wild card. So they're actually in the last spot in the playoffs right now. Panthers are going to be without Christian McCaffrey. Apologies there. He's done for the year with an ankle injury. The team said MRI said the injury was severe enough to put him on injured reserve for the season. College basketball last night. Iowa holds on to beat Virginia after jumping out to a 24-point lead. Virginia stormed back, but got it within one, but could not pull off the comeback win against Iowa, 75-74 in the opener of the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Illinois beat Notre Dame 82-72 for the Big Ten to take a 2-0 lead heading into tonight's play. Minnesota at Pitt, Indiana at Syracuse. Those are 7 o'clock tips. Florida State at Purdue at 7:30. Wake Forest has Northwestern at 9. Clemson at Rutgers is at 9. And then Duke at Ohio State at 9:30. Also tonight, Old Dominion and East Carolina play at 7 o'clock in Greenville. And that's sports. OBX Today Weather Center forecast for today. Going to be nice, but it's going to be dry. Going to get a little windy. Don't be burning. We do have a burning ban in effect for all of North Carolina. And conditions are going to be right for wildfire spread today. Sunny skies, high 55. Southwest winds of 10 to 15, gusts up to 20 at times. For tonight, clear, low 45. West winds 10 to 15, gusts to 20. On with Wednesday, sunny, a high 61. Clouds Wednesday night, a little breezy, low 49. Mostly sunny Thursday and 67. Partly cloudy, breezy Thursday night, 53. Sunny and 65 Friday. Saturday, sunny, 66. Sunday, sunny, 59. And Monday, partly sunny and 63. No mention of rain in the forecast for the next 7 days. It's just going to intensify our drought situation. Coastal rain forecast today. We starting out not too bad, but the winds will be picking up in the afternoon. Southwest winds at 10 to 15 right now, jumping to 15 to 20, gusts to 25 with 2 to 3 foot waves in the sounds today. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Water temperatures now in the mid 50s on the north beaches, down to 59 on Hatteras Island. Sound side anywhere from 49 to 55. Next tide change at Oregon Inlet's a low tide at 10:14. Sunset tonight at 4:48. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:53. 41 right now. A little breezy. Outside the studios in Uptown Nags Head. And that's going to do it for OBX Today Live for us on this November the 30th, 2021. Get ready for December. So have yourself a great Tuesday, everybody. Back with you tomorrow here on OBX Today Live, presented by Gallup Funeral Services on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you.